You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petree's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Little Bug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 260 of another Woodshop podcast, where this week we're joined by a man that has built more than projects. He has built an entire creative maker empire. He is single-handedly responsible for more DIYers and makers than Michaels and Joann Fabrics combined. R.I.P. Joann Fabrics. He's proof that the right mix of curiosity and I'll figure it out as I go can get you anywhere. The man that has everyone asking, who is this and what does he like to do? Please help me welcome Bob Clagett from I Like to Make Stuff. What's up, bud?
That was quite an intro, man.
Thanks. Welcome to
ChatGPT write
the
it,
show.
I guarantee.
No, it's usually I run out to the bathroom and I type furiously. That's where I do my best thinking. Well, speaking of the bathroom, Dan?
Our patrons.
That was the worst. That was the worst one yet.
I'm really phoning in the segues today.
Well, now we know why we don't have any new patrons this week.
Oh, it's
Because
me
of
again.
Pete. Because of Pete. But we do have returning patrons, and we like to talk about our VIP patrons, and they are as follows in this particular order. Tim Barnes from Earthworm Jim Woodworks, Greg G of G&M Design Co., Scott Crabtree from Crabtree Creative, Dominic over at the Crafty Sloth, Sean Renshaw from Native Woodworking, Nick at NSM Woodcraft, Chris Lamoureux from Homefront Woodworks, Duffy Woodcraft is Alex Duffy, Greg Bennett at Windy Acres Works, Greg D'Ambrosio at GTD Woodworks. That's I like to refer to that as the Greg Corner. Damon over at BWG Woodworking, Jeremy Claybaugh. Happy birthday to Braden the Bidet Boy Boakes. Alex, you're like 2 weeks too late, buddy. That's Alex Adams over at Type A Furniture. John Herbolsheimer from Living Lath Woodworks. F. Lee Valley, allegedly, at NV Woodshop. Nick, good job. Jared LaPuma at LL Builds, Tyler Booth from Temecula Yard Games, Henry Lutens from Manfreda Wood, Justin Frazier from Frazier Candy Woodworks, Sarah at Rosie's Woodshop, El Jefe from Maker's Way, Victor at Wim Designs, got drunk and distracted by Dakota Johnson in Materialist last week, is Nick Brim from Nick Brim Woodworking. Yeah, that's his name. And you'll never guess, this is going to be Max Reed and Lissa Reed of Redesign Co. Their name is now got high and distracted by Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie last week. They're clearly not coordinating. Bill Burkle at WTB Woodworking, Malcolm at Bossa Nova Workshop, Crafted with Machines and Love is Patrick Gensel. Ed Mancini at Mancini Woodworking, Chris at Chris Will Make, Willow Creek Lumber is Scott Shirk, Justin Bailey over at Campfire Woodworks, and rounding them out, Mr. John Grubb, Ohio is a beautiful state, over at Grub Makes. I don't know, Grub something.
The elder patron.
Grub and Co.
Yeah, the elder patron.
Grub and Grub, lawyers at law.
So if you want to help us out with our patronage and you're not offended by the segues Pete gives, you can go to patreon.com/Another Woodshop Podcast, or simply go to iloveawp.com. That'll take you to our patron page.
Wow.
Speaking of things you get from patronage, Braden.
As patrons, you get automatically entered into monthly giveaways because Dan said one time that we were going to give away something every single month of 2025 and plus Christmas of 2024, and we're still trying to make sure that he.
So it has been said, and so it has been done.
Yeah, he has declared it, so we continue to trudge on.
Just like when I declared bankruptcy, I stepped outside.
All you have to do to get entered is sign up for any of our paid patron tiers, or if you don't love us, you can also get entered in one of two ways right now. All you have to do is go to arethechairs.included.com, which will take you to our St. Jude's page, and for every $5 that you donate to St. Jude's, you'll get one more entry into the giveaways each month, or you can now go to the GoFundMe page to help our dear friend in the maker community, Pat Lapp, with the legal fees as he takes on a David versus Goliath level interaction with an alleged
Brandon was choosing his words very carefully.
An alleged infringed corporation. Yeah. I'm comfortable with that. The lawyers just tapped me on the shoulder, so we're okay with that. If you donate $5 to that GoFundMe, you also get an entry. Now, the caveat with that one is you have to take a picture of your donation and DM it to me, because as much manual work as I'm willing to do tracking these entries, I'm physically not going to go roll through every single donation on his GoFundMe. I'm not going to do it. I love you.
What if I Photoshop my entry?
Well, you're a bad person, Dan.
You're a bad person, but honestly,
I'm just throwing out hypotheticals.
Also, Dan, you can't win.
Devil's hypotheticals.
You set up the giveaways. You can't win.
Oh,
speaking of our giveaways, Vern, our winner from June.
Tell me if I'm
Dan officially has possession of your box now.
That's what I was supposed to do today.
You son of a gun.
Can you put the built-in on pause and send out our winner's gift?
I packed the box. I modified the box to fit, stuffed it full of delicious goodies. Don't eat them.
Don't eat them.
Got the shipping labels printed. It's put on there, and I put it right back into Dan's hand. Wait for it. I was going to ship it, and the last time he was here yesterday, he said, dude, I go to the post office every single day. I got it from
typically.
Here. And you know what? Here we are. Just disappointed.
I didn't do jack crap today. I didn't do nothing. I was super proud of it.
Don't brag about that, Dan.
You know what I did?
Proud of it, but
you know what I did today? I drove to the UPS store.
You should have took that box.
I should have. Anyway,
Bob, what's it like to watch a poorly oiled machine at work? The whole time his eyes just say like, "Oh yeah, we got it covered. Our podcast is fine." This is
this is one of the B tier competition podcasts. That's what this is.
B tier.
This is it. We're good.
We're a solid D battery.
We're firm B. We're not going anywhere. But I will tell you where we are going, Braden. Where are we going?
We're
going
Look
to
at that
Texas,
professional
baby.
segue.
I'm working
That's
on
how
it.
good we are.
We're going to the Texas Woodworking Festival, and you can be too. So we're going to Texas Woodworking Festival. It's our sponsor this week. We're going to be there in, guys, less than a month. We're going to be
crazy.
Shut the front door.
That's a lie. It's a little over a month. Depends on when it's dropped. The festival's happening on the
September
13th and 14th. September 13th and
there
14th. Yep. Including the Friday show it's more of a, I guess the answer to like the Workbench Con crowd. You know, the makers, the content creators, those guys have their own little meetup on Friday as well, Friday evening. That's why we're flying in early, guys. You can get a hotel nearby, just a short walk over to the convention center. It is 36 days and 11 hours away. It's right on their site. I love it. But if you're wondering what it is, the Texas Woodworking Festival essentially started out as a maker meetup in a brewery, and when they put the brewery at capacity, they got kicked out, and now they have it in an events center. So it's a woodworking show, a trade show, a tool sale, educational symposium. It's a networking event. They have a ton of awesome classes. That's actually how Keith and some other people learned about this woodbending class that I took a couple weeks ago in Texas. That was awesome. I heard a lot of great things about this show. It's apparently the hot one to be at. So we are excited to go. If you like tacos, if you like beer, and if you like barbecue, you're gonna love this event. Also,
what
they
if
have
I
tools.
like woodworking? Yeah,
they have tools in woodworking too.
Okay.
Yeah, but they also have the other stuff too.
Beer, barbecue, and tacos.
Fill your belly, fill your mind.
Can you get those all in one?
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You get a dovetail and burger, meal.
Dovetail and a burger.
Make sure you go check that out. And at some point during this episode, we are going to drop a super secret code phrase for your chance to enter to win. So you're going to listen for that, and then we'll tell you where to email it at that time. And what's up, Dan?
Win what exactly?
win a ticket, the full-blown EDU pass with all the classes to the Texas Woodworking Festival. You just have to get yourself there. We just booked our hotel and flights. I'm super excited.
Did you guys book me one, or am I?
Do you want to tell them? We'll tell them
later. Like always, I got you.
Thank you.
So, super stoked for that, and we hope to see you guys there again, September 13th and 14th. We're going to be raffling off this ticket. We have one more chance to win after this, and then we're going to raffle it off towards the end of the month. So, good luck to everyone.
Raffle it off, or are we just going to pick a name?
We're going to print all the names out. You're going to cut them up. We're going to put them in a bucket.
Let's call it a raffle, and you can send me the money.
That's not how it works, Dan.
I got a new AC that I need to pay for. So,
cool. Too bad, Dan, because we've got an awesome guest.
Yes, let's hear from Bob.
Bob Clagett is here from I Like to Make Stuff, and we're super excited to have you on. We're honored as well. We're all big fans. It's great to have you here. But for those crazy people that are listening to this and go, who the heck is this guy? Can you give us a quick little elevator pitch? Who the heck do you think you are?
Well, I'm Bob, and I like to make stuff.
There it is.
Yeah, I did the thing.
He hated every second of it, but I loved it. It was great. It was great for me.
We can wrap it up.
Have you guys seen the new Fantastic Four?
No, but Pedro Pascal's in it, so I'm all for it.
Come on, guys. Well, there's a thing where the thing, the character,
there's a thing in everyone.
The whole time they're like, "Come on, say the thing," and he's like, "It's not something I really say," and they're like, and then finally, it's clobbering time. That's what it felt like. Anyway, I'm Bob. I make stuff. I've been making stuff, like in videos. I've been making stuff my whole life, but I make stuff in videos for about, I don't know, 12 years now, something like that.
Wow.
Made a lot of YouTube videos, made a lot of stuff. None of it's the same. So I can't say I'm like this type of person or maker. I just make whatever is interesting on the given day.
Jack of all trades.
Just for a little bit of context, I had to take my socks off to count this high. You have to go 78 videos deep before you hit a single video that has less than 1 million views on it. So
that can't be correct.
That I counted them myself. And
are you going by most popular or are you going by most recent?
Yeah, they have to be most
popular. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 78 before you 1 million plus views.
Or he just got a lot of views overnight and still doesn't know.
Yeah.
This guy's got big. I can retire.
12 days ago, the pool noodle community got a hold of a video. Let me tell you about it.
Everything is on Reddit, so I don't doubt that there is a community.
You just hit 10 years of officially having I Like to Make Stuff as a brand, right? Wasn't it May of 2020 or 2015?
Yeah, that was when I went full time. Yeah,
full time.
Actually, I think it's like 12 years old, but yeah, I went full time.
So 10 years. You any regrets? Like, how does it feel 10 years later doing this full time for 10 years?
I mean,
your hair's a lot grayer. So
yeah, everything is grayer. Yeah, all over. I don't know. I mean, it's been great. There's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been the majority of it I did not expect going into it. You have a picture of what things might look like in your future, and you're always wrong. And I was wrong. But it's amazing. I mean, I have the opportunity to spend my days kind of how I want them and come up with, like, I have to work at coming up with dumb ideas to make. And that's amazing. That's right. It's not like somebody's telling me that I have to make this cabinet again, or that I have to, I don't have to do anything. I get the opportunity to look for things that don't exist or things that I don't have, and I just get to make them, and I don't have to get anybody's approval for it. So it's amazing.
Do you do any commissions at all of anything?
No. Oh, I mean, I've done a few things recently, and the only time I've ever done commission stuff is for people that I know that are maybe like, they need something for their classroom, or they have a small business and they need something for, So recently I've done a few things. There's a local art studio here, and they needed some like pegboard walls, giant pegboard walls. And I did that stuff, but didn't make videos about it because it's not really that interesting, but it helped that business get started. Somebody I know from high school. And, there's a guy that is a soccer player here. He's a trainer and he trains my kids, and he wanted an indoor soccer. It's like a hexagon. It's like a anyway. So I made this little court for him, and I ended up making a video about that one. Is my least performing video in the last like 5 years or something. Terrible. It's just terrible.
Not on the list, Braid.
Yeah, it's not on that list for sure.
I was going to say, I'm trying to sort by worst videos. So there's not a button, though. There's not a button.
They're all
sounds
bangers.
like something I really want to talk about, so we should definitely go. Anyway, I don't do a lot of commission on occasion for people I know.
Do you have like days or any sort of time you set aside during the week where you're just sitting around brainstorming ideas, or do you just write stuff down in a notebook as they come to you?
Kind of both. I mean, I typically just try to write stuff down all the time, but actually today and tomorrow, these are days that I'm set aside because I just finished the thing I was working on, and I've got to start thinking about the next couple of months. So I'm intentionally taking some time to think. You know, that's the thing that I have the hardest time justifying is time to think. Of all the stuff that I do, of all the ways my days are spent, sitting and thinking is really hard for me to.
Because you're not actively doing something, you're just kind of pondering and.
Yeah, it feels unproductive. It's not. It's very productive.
No,
it's
I get
necessary, you know. But yeah, it that feeling is there for sure.
Right.
Do you have like creative dumps where you're just like writing stuff down or sketching it out, or do you keep a note going while stuff comes up? Like you'll be in a line waiting for a sandwich and it'll like hit you like, hi, I need to make this. Do you like?
Yeah.
Do you track that stuff?
I do. Yeah, I've got a couple of notes, like just Apple Notes, where I'll quickly leave reminders for myself, and it's just like a keyword, something that I can come back to later on, remember. But then we were talking earlier before we recorded about Notion. I have Notion pages that are just like brain dumps and rabbit trails, and here's an idea, and then you go to that page, and then it's 10 versions of that idea that most of them are terrible and will never work and stuff. But it's I gotta like flesh it out to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have a lot of that.
And I grilled you on this a little bit, but if you don't mind talking about your like kind of behind the scenes process of keeping track of stuff, you said you use Notion.
Mm-hmm.
No, so
yeah.
How do you utilize that?
Well, so we started out using Trello years ago, and it's kind of a list-based thing, and it worked fine for a while. And then I got a team of people. We grew for a while, and then we shrank back down. And through that process, we went to Notion because it was, at the time, it was kind of like a shared doc system, and then it's grown into have a database capacity, which is how I think. I used to be a software engineer, so like I spent a lot of time in building databases and relational things. And so now that that's in Notion, I can think about an idea and then like all of its tendrils that go off to other sub ideas. And Notion's a good place for me to be able to kind of track that stuff, as well as calendaring. I have a guy, Jonathan Forby, that works with me full time. And so he and I share, those documents all the time. It's the way we keep track. Like right now we're redoing our Fusion course, and that's a huge amount of like scripting and content and editing and graphics, and just it's ridiculous. And so being able to keep all that stuff in Notion in an organized way to where we can both interact with it and keep track of what is happening at any given moment, I don't know how else we would do it without building some custom solution, which we have done before. And so Notion's been pretty good for making it work for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a lot of ideas floating around somewhere.
Yeah.
How much would you say actually sees the light of day versus doesn't?
It's a good question.
Oh man, probably.
I know, I'm really good at questions.
Yeah, calm down, Dan.
I would say like less than 10% for sure.
Wow. Okay, that's
less than 10% actually sees like the world.
Yeah. Originally, when I first started, when I was doing everything on my own, I've never been doing everything on my own, but when I did a whole lot of my own early on, I had a list and I had it broken into these 4 categories, and it was like absolutely, doable, maybe, and bananas. Those were the categories. And so the bananas list,
I have a list with bananas, but it's not what you would think.
The bananas list was way longer than everything else because it was the first pass like, what if you made a canoe that was also a tank? And it was this, like just ridiculous, off the cuff. It was a thing that would never happen, but it was there so that
That would
there
go
could be-
crazy viral, though.
there could be
got
some
Jason
secondary
Hibbs
version
energy.
that's a little bit closer to reality. It moves up the list.
Build canoe tank with Dan. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
You guys can have that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So when you started doing this, was there a direction for your channel? And how did you start to making? Was it just like, hey, I'm making stuff and I'm just gonna like share it, or was it like an intentional, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, it's gonna be a furniture channel, and then it developed into something else? Like, what was the origin of the actual I like to make stuff?
Well, I mean, at the very beginning, I was doing software full time. At the time, I had an infant and a toddler, two very young kids, about a year and a half apart. And so I was working from home. So there was I was at my computer, I would literally open a door and then there were babies there and like mess and life and all of the stuff that I love, but there was no in between. There was no commute. There was no drive home to change gears. And so, making things, just making furniture, making stuff for my friends or whatever was a way for me to like get up from the computer, go do a thing for 30 minutes and then walk through the door. And that changed how I interacted with my kids and with my family. And so the more I started doing that, it was a necessary thing for me. But then it was like, well, but I could stay in the shop for an hour. I could stay in the shop for an hour and a half, and then it starts putting off that other part of my life. And so if I decided that if I was going to do that, it had to be valuable to somebody else. So I started writing blog posts and about taking pictures of what I was building and stuff. And I had some video experience before. So I was like, man, taking pictures kind of sucks. Like this writing things is a real pain. And so I started making video because that was easier for me, honestly. And then it was like, well, I've got videos. YouTube's a thing. Because I used to do music on YouTube, so I already had experience with all of that.
Well, I know what we're looking for later.
So I started posting videos, and it was purely a hobby, and it was never supposed to be anything specific. It was just whatever I was into. I bought the domain I like to make stuff probably 7 or 8 years before that, just as like a, hey, look, I need a
you locked
domain.
that stuff down.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
got really lucky there. And I kind of bought it on a whim too, which is really funny. But so I already had the domain name, I already had email and stuff, so I just kind of worked with that name. And I don't know. Honestly, this entire thing, the last maybe 15 years of my life is kind of like falling downhill. Like you start, and you kind of like stumbling a little bit, and then you just can't control it, and it just keeps going, and you're falling and you're rolling, and that's
Yeah, I get it. Except mine is more of a cliff situation.
oh okay.
Cliff, no parachute.
Turned 40, fell off a cliff. Here I am.
All right, so you've done a lot of projects, obviously. Is there? I want to hear one that like you're like, oh, this is like a quick project, and it turned into like a whole thing of weeks of work or something like that. Do you have a story where something kind of went off the rails on you, but you were too deep into to stop?
I mean, that's happened so many times. I mean, I'm not sure that I can pick one.
Let me count the ways.
Yeah, my tendency.
2021 through 25, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. My tendency is to look at a thing and be like, oh, here's an idea. Generalized. Sure. How hard could it be? And then as you start breaking it down into like realistic things that you have to do, you realize that there's 1,000 small problems to solve. Case in point, you were asking about a specific one. So I made this layout. This is still laying on my desk. I made a MagSafe charger that goes on here. And this was so that I could hang my phone right on the front of my monitor. And then when I didn't want to charge my phone, I could swing this thing up behind the monitor. And so I'm like, yeah, how hard could that be? It's just like a 3D printed hinge with a thing on it. And then I ended up developing this like weird castle nut system with like captive springs. And it was really cool. And it was a lot of fun to come up with. But this took me like 3 or 4 weeks. And it was supposed to be like a 2-day, I need a 3D printing project, kind of thing. And I mean, the cool thing about that is that I learned a whole lot from it. And it pushed my thinking about integrating other mechanisms into 3D printed stuff in a way that I wouldn't if it had worked easily the first time, So yeah, I think it was a good thing, but it definitely took longer than I was expecting.
And do you have a content schedule that you try to stick to? And has it ever been derailed by one of those projects?
Oh, it's always derailed. Yeah. So for years and years and years, I did videos every week. And I know at some point, one of you will ask me, what's a thing you would tell your younger self not to do? And it's do a video every week. That's the answer that I'll give when you ask the question in a little while. Probably.
See, Brayden?
You can't answer the questions to the.
Everybody always asks that. So, sorry, I'll answer. I'll give you a different answer then. But so I used to do videos every week, and there is no margin at all for error in that, for stuff going wrong. But stuff's still going to go wrong. There's just no margin for it. So it just it snowballs. A week turns into a week and a half. The next one turns into 2.5, and then it's such a mess, and it's so hard to keep up with. And it was a stress level that I'm like, why am I so stressed about creating this much content? This is supposed to be my job where I can do kind of whatever I want.
I would like to point out that at the top of your page on YouTube, it still says new project videos every week.
Ooh,
I just want to let you know.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah.
Breaking news: Bob Clagett, liar.
Yep. Well, the good thing is that nobody has ever brought that up except for you. So,
and we have ones of listeners, so watch out.
I'll bet we have at least 3 listeners.
Oh, if I had a pool noodle for every time Bob Clagett lied.
Oh man.
Oh jeez.
But anyway, these days we're at 2 a month is my goal, and so that buys me some more room to not only have things go wrong and figure things out, but also to not work as much. I have more time for life.
So we've talked about space in the metaphysical idea of time.
We have.
My question is more physically. How many rooms do you have at your house? Because in my mind, you're building one of these Winchester houses because every couple weeks or months you have a themed room. I made the Tron room that I've always wanted, or I've made the Star Wars room. What kind of crazy rickety house? The permit office? Do they just have a permanent file for you, or what's going on?
They don't know where I live. The permit office.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about me. No, actually, we have one room left in our house that we have not renovated. So,
is it your shop?
No, no. So I bought my grandparents' house. So when my grandfather passed away years ago, the house was in the family, and so we bought it for my uncle. And so I grew up, coming to this house a whole lot, and my grandfather's shop was here, and they built it in the 80s and basically never did anything with it since then. So when we moved in with our family a few years back, we just started working room by room. And so that's why I've had so much content, around renovation and stuff, because we had an entire house from 83 or whatever to update. But we only have one room left. So.
And you got to move. This is the YouTuber way.
You got to burn it down and build another one.
No, he can just go build a 40 by 60 shop in the backyard. That's the in thing right now. Is just building us an off.
Or
I got an idea. Hold on.
You buy an Airbnb and you restore it, and then you rent it out. No,
that's what Dave's doing. I got an idea for you, Bob, because this reminds me of one of my favorite videos you've done.
Bob.
Oh, we'll trade it for the banana, for the canoe thing, whatever it was.
It's a barter system here.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm not getting you mixed up with somebody else, but when you bought the farm,
phrasing?
Farm, right?
That's a saying,
maybe let's rephrase that one. That's weird. I don't like that.
When you bought your current house, isn't it a farm?
No, I have a separate property that is a farm property. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. You do have a farm property, but didn't you build a tree house out there?
I did.
Yes. Okay. Shop tree house.
Tree shop.
Oh, okay. There you go.
You're welcome.
That's going to take some math for some posts.
I'll tell you what I want to do, and this is the Star Wars nerd in me.
Submarine.
Out.
Death Star?
No, I want to build. So we have a bunch of woods out there, It's like 11 and a half acres. Most of it is wooded, and the ground is not flat. It's just like ridges and trees and stuff like this. So it kind of in the spring looks like indoor, kind of. And so what I want to do is go out there and build like half of an AT-AT, like a full size AT-AT, fallen down, like it died and fell over and is kind of sticking out of the ground.
Moss and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
yes.
like,
I'm in.
that would be cool.
I would love to see that. It's cool. Just make it look like there was a war zone there at some point. Yeah.
My other idea is to make a giant life-size transformer that is like leaned up against a tree to rest and then just died. And so
like a Rip Van Winkle sort of transformer crossover.
Transformer. Yeah.
Cool.
Have you ever seen? I forget the artist that did this. They build
Prince.
like wooden
Formerly known as
gnomes.
Prince. Dang it!
Stop it. They build wooden gnomes in like random parks and forests around the U.S. Paul turned us on to that. He was going to actually take some photos up in what was the park in Maine? Acadia, I think. Yeah. So it's something like along that, like just like giant structure randomly found in the woods.
Thomas Danby, something like that. I can't remember his name, but there's a forest near us called Bernheim Forest. It's within 30 minutes of us, and there's 3 of those giants are there.
That's
and
awesome.
So we've gotten to climb around on them and stuff. They're amazing.
That's so cool. I've always wanted to see one of those. I haven't made the pilgrimage yet.
Well, Pete, there are pictures on the internet. You could go check them out.
I want to see them with my eyeballs. Okay.
How else would you see them?
So you're gonna have to just start doing like the Transformer ones, but like go find all of this guy's the big giants, and then just give them a friend.
Yeah, or just put armor on them,
or
like turn
transform
them into
them. Yes,
that's right.
Okay,
I like that.
So somebody just chucked a catalytic converter at this thing. What the hell is this?
Well,
I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
Since these guys are pitching you ideas, my next question is: have you ever had a fan idea that you were like, "Oh, that's actually pretty good"? Unlike this, what's happening here?
Treehouse shop.
Like, have you ever had a fan idea where you were like, "I'm gonna do that. That's pretty awesome."
No.
Dang.
Damn,
And that's only because like I'm just only interested in the stuff that is in my head because I was interested in it. You know what I mean? Like
Fair.
I try to, if I have a problem in the house, I want to solve the problem. If I'm into all the nerdy stuff behind me, I'm into that stuff. And so the ideas are kind of just come out of that stuff. And so if a random person's like, because I've had people come up and be like,
hey, you should do this or that.
Yeah, I really need a table that goes in my corner that my cat can sit on, but it also has shelves on it. Can you make one of those sometime? And I'm like, I mean,
that's going to be interesting.
I don't know what color
only
your cat
you,
is,
Bob.
So I'm afraid I can't.
Or Frank. Do you mind if I build a rocket suit for the cat that's somehow charged in the table?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you build structures, you're building stuff, and then somehow you also, I think we can all probably be pretty honest. You seem to be somewhat of a collector of things.
I am.
What? That's crazy.
You also collect just some real odd cars.
They're not that odd.
I mean, the Carmen Gia, I had to double check that I was pronouncing correctly. It's at least that odd. The FJ40 is dope, but
Is that
I'm
that
very much
Volkswagen looking thing?
The FJ40 is the Toyota version of a Jeep.
Oh, right.
The Carmen Gia is a Volkswagen, yes.
Okay, that's the thing I was thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, it's Carmen is spelled in a very German way.
Yeah.
Oh,
With a K.
okay.
I didn't realize you're
relax.
a car guy too. I must have missed that. How many cars do you have?
A few. I have. So the Carmen Gia is.
You said that like Jimmy would. You would ask Jimmy how many cars he has.
One less than what would
17.
constitute a problem.
yeah. I mean, so I have the Carmen Gia, which is a 1970 Carmen Gia, and it's in 2 pieces right now because it was drivable when I got it. I got it drivable, and then I ripped it in half. And then
Car guy. This is a car guy thing.
Yeah. And so I've been working on that for many years now, like way longer than I should have been. But and then I have this 1976 FJ40, which is a Land Cruiser. I like Land Cruisers a lot. And then I have a 1992 Land Cruiser, which is like my daily driver. So those are my cars, and then my wife has a car.
You're
My kids
daily
have a car.
driving a 92 Land Cruiser.
Yes,
That's
Crazy.
Is the 92, is that the one that you had in the shop for like
2.5
a
years.
year, 2.5 years?
2.5 years.
I remember
And
you talking about that on your podcast.
And it's in the shop
occasionally.
again right now. But
Oh,
my
okay.
God.
Uh,
This reminds me
Same
of
mechanic or
same mechanic.
So trust him.
Well, it's stuff that he didn't finish, so I took
Oh,
it
I
back to
got
him
you.
to finish. Yeah.
did he tell you that it wasn't finished, or
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
find out? Oh, like by the way, I totally meant to finish that.
Okay,
Yeah, I
need
forgot to put the
drive
wheels
this
on,
thing.
but yeah.
You wanted the catalytic converter? I was gonna make a transformer in the woods out of it. So
This reminds me of that video that was going around a couple weeks ago. That was there's a guy talking about like, oh, let me explain it to you, and it was just pointing at stuff, different parts he has to work on. But every time he did a shot, there's an extra cigarette in his hand. It's like the garage guy, like, I need to work on this, but to work on that, I have to fix this. Before I fix that, I have to work on that, and I have to assemble this before I do that. Once I'm done with this, I'll work on that, and then after that, I can get to that. Like, and then every time it's just one extra cigarette that's lit. I'm like, that's the car guy. That's every car guy.
Absolutely the car guy that's been working on my car. Yeah.
listen,
so
it
great.
was running when I bought it is the most car guy thing that every car person listening understands. Like, I get it. I have had a Jeep Wrangler that was running and perfectly fine when I bought it. I had a motorcycle that was running when I bought it. And yeah, no, that's peak level car guy.
Car guy.
Well,
Technically,
when I
any
say
car-
it was running when I got it, it was like there was a Dr. Pepper bottle with some fuel in it and a little rubber hose that went out. That's how it was running because there was no
that's
gas tank.
nice.
So it's eco-friendly. That's what it was.
Direct fuel injection.
As long as you have a big enough hill, it's technically a hybrid.
Oh, that's great. I wish I had the room to get into like car stuff, but I know that's another
you don't.
black hole.
No, you don't.
No,
Don't-
you
don't
don't.
do it.
I know because
Don't
they
do
just get expensive.
As soon as I got rid of my car, like my project cars, I then immediately got rid of all of my car tools so that I wouldn't ever be tempted to do it again. Now, the occasional time where I need like a wrench, I'm like, fuck, I had like 100 wrenches
dang it,
back in the
Bobby.
day.
Well, so obviously you like cars, you love Star Wars. You got some other hobbies that you work into a lot of your content. If I like to make stuff wasn't a thing, let's say that just never became a thing, what alternate channel would you have? Or do you have a secret channel somewhere like, hey, I do fishing
He's got a
content?
music channel that we're going to find.
I was going to say, would it be a channel with your rock and roll band with Josh Booth, possibly in Kentucky?
Actually, I don't know that we ever did videos, but yeah, Josh and I were in a band together. Do you know Josh?
I know of
he's good
somebody
at
who
Googling.
knows of somebody of Josh. If it looks like I haven't been paying attention, I've been doing on the spot research.
Okay.
putting
ChatGPT
tendrils
5
out.
is great.
I couldn't remember who gave me this little nugget, and there's like 4 people. They're like, "What the heck are you talking about? Bob in a band? I don't know. What are you talking about?" So anyway, I got what I
Yeah.
need.
Gotcha. Yeah. Josh and I were in a band. We went to the same art school in Savannah, and we were in a band together. He now is a photographer, and he's actually like presented at Workbench Con and done. He's amazing. But yeah, we were in a band together for a short amount of time.
What was
So
the name
your
of the
question?
band?
Yeah, so what channel would you do then?
What channel would I do?
Or would you even do a channel?
I don't think I would. I don't think I would.
If I were to do it all over again, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah. No, I mean, I think especially if it was starting now, like if it was a matter of in this day in 2025, I've got an idea for a YouTube channel. I just wouldn't do it.
There
And
you
that's
go.
not
There you go,
Not to say
people
that
who
people
are starting.
shouldn't do it. That's not to
You're
say
saying
that
I
people shouldn't
shouldn't
do it, but
do
where I am in
YouTube.
life and stuff, I just wouldn't. It's just not the same thing.
I was
as
trying
it
to get
was
rid
when
of
I
all the
started.
competition, Bob.
Well, so that kind of leads to the obvious question of how have you seen, because you were in fairly early in like the YouTuber thing. How have you seen that transform over the years to the point where now, you wouldn't necessarily do it?
Well, I think early on there wasn't, at least in the maker woodworking kind of world, there wasn't so much content that it mattered very much what you did. you could make anything and it was useful to somebody because there wasn't a lot of it. And it was very easy to be, I'm making this thing for me because I'm not really going up against anybody. It's a small community of people who all kind of like help each other out and, lift each other up and share each other's videos. And you weren't competing for like who can make the best cutting board and who can make the best, whatever of the same thing a million times. And now the growth is amazing for people, but there's so much, and the viewing habits of humans has changed so much in the last 5 years that it's practically impossible now to just make the thing that you want to make and have it be a useful source of income for any person. Everything that you think about these days to make, whether anybody wants to admit it or not, is filtered through this terrible engine of how do I get people to pay attention to it? How do I get people to see a thumbnail and think that it's worth a single click? Or how do I write a title that says the truth, but not too much of the truth because it has to be interesting and the truth's kind of boring? There's so much there that makes it way more difficult than it used to be just 5 years ago.
I can't wait to clip that into a 12-second clip with really obvious subtitles and then title it "People Named Bob Hate It When You Check Out This Secret."
Yeah.
So you're like, now you're feeling like there's a lot more, not just hook, but retention you have to build into your videos.
I think people who do well at it, yes. I don't do well at it anymore. I don't. And this sounds really contrary, and this is not meant to be a negative thing at all, but like the growth of my video stuff, like the views and stuff over time, it went up 2019 and now it's come down. And it's staying down. And that's just how it is now. And so for a little while I was like, well, how hard do I want to fight this? Do I want to worry about retention, or do I want to like do the big eyes in the thumbnail and make sure I'm always wearing the right color shirt and do I want to do that thing? And eventually I settled into, I don't want to do that thing. And if that means that nobody watches the videos, then I'll find another job.
I recently learned about the color of the shirt thing. Brad, fix and spell that. Only blue shirts.
Yep.
Every single video. And apparently a blue shirt is the one that pops the most or something.
And for a while it was red, and then it was blue.
It's so weird. But yeah, go check out Brad's channel. It's all blue shirts. It blew my mind when I saw it.
No, don't go check out Brad's. Go check out Bob's.
I mean, go check out Bob's.
This is
They're
a Bob
already
episode.
on Bob's channel. I got to say, though, so I often will just go through YouTube and see like how makers are doing, because like a lot of my friends are now other content creators. I might not be a YouTuber myself, but a lot of my friends do it. And we talk about it because that's what they deal with all the time. And, oftentimes I hear them say that the viewing numbers are down. And you see this on large shit. You even see it on Jimmy's channel. I gotta say, though, your channel is still doing pretty dang well. Most videos are 100K plus easily. Yeah. Whereas a lot of even large channels are seeing 10,000, 20, 50,000 views on a video that's already been out for months. That might even be a good video, but just, do you feel like there's been that massive shift? It's not just like, people aren't interested in you. Do you think there's a shift on YouTube that's happening?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't take it personally. I mean, I think I recognize the fact that I'm aging out of certain things where I'm not as interesting to a certain, age of people, and that's fine. The cultural stuff that I still find interesting.
You'll always have my heart, Bob.
Yeah, thank you. The cultural stuff that is still interesting to me is not as relevant to younger people. I get that, but I do think that just the general viewing habits of people is really different, for better or worse. I think for worse, but I'll give it the benefit
absolutely
of the doubt.
For worse.
But I think it used to be that a lot of people looked at YouTube as this kind of, and my friend Destin from Smarter Every Day has said this many times. It's like it was supposed to be the Library of Alexandria. It was supposed to be this catalog of useful things. Everything that you ever wanted to know could be there. And it shifted pretty hard from that to like everything you've ever wanted to see squished you can see it on YouTube. You know, everything that you've ever wanted to see in this situation.
Will
you can see
it crush?
Listen,
Yeah.
the will it blend guy is a cultural genius, and I will not be convinced otherwise.
And it doesn't mean that those things are bad. Entertainment's great, right? But like there was a shift in why you go to YouTube generally. And
It was around the time TikTok was invented because people's attention spans got like
Shortened.
so much shortened. Like it's insane. You know, and then everybody else followed along with reels and shorts now on YouTube. So yeah.
Do you guys, have you ever heard No Dumb Questions, the podcast with Destin and Matt Whitman?
No, but we'll check it out.
It's
I
wonderful.
didn't know Destin had a podcast.
Yes, they're both good friends of mine, but it is even if I didn't like either one of them, it would be a fantastic podcast.
No dumb
In the
questions.
most recent episode, Matt talked about the four eras of YouTube, and that he gets to that, like, you know, there's a point where everything was free and you could just like make whatever you want and everybody loved it because it was new, and then it goes through these different eras and it ends up in attention span went down the tubes. And so that changed all these different things in all these different ways. So to answer your original question, yes, it has. I'm blessed that we still get views on the videos. Those views over the course of a week used to be what I would get in a day, in the first day. I still get the views. It's just taking longer, you know. So I am really, really fortunate, and I say blessed because I think it's intentional that like I get a lot that I don't deserve there. A lot of other people have had a much harder time with that shift for many different reasons, but I think it's affected long form content creators across the board, across every type of video, every interest, every age group, really negatively in the last few years.
And
go
ahead, Pete.
So, you know, with this like shift in retention and how people are consuming content and so much free content and education out there now, you went ahead and made a course, right? Yeah. So, where people have to sit down and focus on it for hours or days or whatever it might be. How was that? Like, when did that happen? When did you actually launch it originally? Like,
yeah, let's talk more about that.
And you just said that you've been remaking it. So what's that been like?
Well,
and so we have two courses.
While you talk about, would you mind screen sharing again?
Screen share,
step-by-step walkthrough.
Just a quick walkthrough.
So we're going to start with the beginning of Fusion. And yeah, we have two courses, and it actually started right when everything was shutting down and everybody was distributed and stuff. And we'd been talking about it for a while, but that was the perfect opportunity to like, okay, well, if we're not going to be all working in the same place, then why don't I start doing this? I'll send it to you. You edit it. Let's finally do the thing we've talked about, right? And so the course was a reaction to finally having the time to do the thing, basically. And it's been amazing. It's been, I think, one of the most important things I've ever done, honestly. We've got like, I don't know, 8,000 students or something over the course of several years. I've had a lot of people, you know, say that they took it, and it's an intro course. It's not like super deep dive going to make you a CAD genius. It gets you started and shows you the stuff you need to know to make stuff. But I've had people say that it actually like changed the path of their career, you know, learning enough CAD to be able to then like, and that's people who you may know. I'm not going to say their names, but they're like people.
Paul Jackman, we got it. Yeah.
But it's been huge because it was an opportunity for me to go deeper on a subject and actually think about, I really enjoy presenting difficult things to people in a way that doesn't seem as difficult. And a course is like the ideal situation for that. You know, explaining this difficult thing in a simple way is only useful for about a few minutes.
Yeah.
But a course is something that they can turn around and then invest. They're investing in themselves. They can reuse that information to make their own situation better. And so the Fusion course has been amazing. And then a couple of years after that, we did an Arduino course. Like I said, I did software for a long time. So explaining programming to people and explaining basic electronics to people is pretty natural for me. And so those two things together, I think they work together really well as two learning paths. And oftentimes people who are interested in one also are interested in the other. So, you know, we kind of did those as the two main courses. We're going back now and redoing the Fusion course just to update it for 2025. But Yeah, I don't remember what your original question was about the course.
No, it was that just like how it started.
He asked you
and
what your
why
favorite
you're-
cookie was.
Oh yeah,
and
chocolate
why
chip.
you're remaking it now, which is just, I guess, updates to the application. I mean, listen, don't undersell the importance of like how much of an impact this makes for people, because I always tell people the hardest thing about Fusion is the first 20 hours.
Yeah.
You know, that when you, which by the way, how long is your course, would you say? Like how many?
19
I think the new
hours.
version of it is no, it's like 5. It's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, you could sit down in an afternoon and follow along, recreate the same stuff, and you would have a solid grasp on parametric modeling, on CAM, on 3D printing, on mesh, on form. Like you would know your way around the program in an afternoon. And
Question.
Yeah.
Would you say it would be better to buy the course currently, or should one wait until you're done with the updated version? Or what's the plan on, like, are you planning on like selling like an upgrade, or?
So if you buy the course now or before the new one comes out, you get the new one for free.
Oh, sweet.
If you pay
Bam.
for it, you're getting the updated stuff. When the new one comes out, it's going to be more expensive just because inflation, right? Like
There you
things
go.
have changed. So
Damn it.
yeah, so I would buy it before then.
And
Before
use
the end of
code
the summer.
AWP for the exact same amount. So
Yep.
just
No
use the
money off.
code. It will make us feel good.
But
Give you
it
guys a
will let you
discount code. Sure.
it'll let you knock off, learning how to do Fusion in a morning, not just an afternoon. So there you go. It's an intangible perk.
Yeah.
It's a big application, so I think it helps people out. Sorry, Braden, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to point out, and I don't understand Fusion
Same, bro.
in any way, other than if I need something in Fusion, I call Pete, and then Pete just does it.
You've got a good grasp on it.
But I do want to point out something that you said with the confidence of somebody that knows it. You are extremely good at explaining complex problems or complex processes in ways that are not intimidating, or they seem achievable. And it's something that, on the making side of things, it was your videos that I was watching before I was actually a maker, and I built my daughter's bed frame from one of your plans because it was, wow, this is a really cool set of plans. This is a really cool video. And I could probably do this without removing several of my appendages. Like this isn't hard.
That's
Edge
awesome.
banding is a pain in the ass, but I can do this.
He lost a finger though. We don't talk
I
about
did.
it.
Yeah, just the unfortunately though, this was nothing to do with the bed frame. This was all just a pickle accident. So yeah, the pickle jar just super sharp. But it is something. It's something that I've really enjoyed watching your videos over the years, is electronics, building things. Like you have a way of teaching that is fantastic. So
Thank you.
Just from a formal standpoint, do we need to refer to you as Professor Bobbert? Or
You can if you want to. I actually did teach college for a little while.
good.
Well, that's what I'm
And
doing from now on.
One of the guys that I worked with he used to call me Professor Bob at work all the time. And it was super annoying, but you can do it if you want to.
It's super annoying. I will hate it and I will think less of you, but
go
you
ahead.
can do it because it's the internet. No,
This
we
is
won't do that.
America.
So what you've done all this stuff. What would you say was like just the most complex halfway through it? Like, shit, why'd I start this? Why am I doing it? Like what
Ooh,
project hit?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
The R2D2.
No, it's the Carmen Gia.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mean it's the classic car, not from here, that I can almost guarantee you're probably not grabbing parts from AutoZone from?
No, no.
That
absolutely.
project?
Yeah.
That's
And that-
the, what you should do? You should Hemi swap it. Swap a Hemi.
Totally. That was, yeah. I mean, it's a car that I've always wanted. So I just had this like kind of, I don't know. What could go wrong? How hard could it be? Kind of, that's like the way I look at life. And that's great.
Right.
But that was a stupid thing to do with a car. So also the fact that this car literally, and I'm not exaggerating, it does not have a straight panel on the car anywhere. Every single piece of metal is a compound curve. So you get something that is about 50% rusted out, you have to replace all those compound curves with other compound curves. And yeah, it was a dumb place to start for sure.
Well,
R2D2 took me like 2 years. No problem. No problem.
The timing on the cars also, you didn't help yourself because some styles of cars wanted to do all those curves. And back then, like you said, they all had to do them in metal. If you'd gotten something just as curvaceous from like the 90s, that's when they just realized, fiberglass, what are we doing? We should slap this on everything.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Have you thought about like 3D printing panels for the car? Is that a thing you can do?
It up. Yeah, you totally could. Yeah. But
other people have done it because I feel great
Dan,
just thinking of
you
that.
wouldn't download a car.
Yeah, I would.
Have you considered
you totally can.
Have you considered doing an epoxy river car?
Ooh, I have not.
Actually,
That you can. There's an
It's
idea.
another idea.
See, there's an
listener
idea that I
idea.
don't hate. I mean,
Stop,
I wouldn't do
really?
it. I wouldn't do
that
it.
one's free.
Suck
Of
it,
all the
everyone
ideas,
else.
epoxy river car.
I'm just imagining the heat and just that is gonna separate.
And all the comments. Oh, the comments would be great.
It'll
you
never
would
separate.
piss off the internet. It would be amazing.
Yep.
That's
It'll
right
never
on my
separate though because he can reinforce it with pocket holes.
Yeah.
Are there any, like, well, speaking of ridiculous projects, are you like kind of thinking about something that's a little ridiculous that you can't like
on the bananas list.
yeah, any like throw some banana stuff at us that is a maybe.
A maybe.
Like,
Okay, well,
like close to a maybe.
okay, so this one is totally doable. It's just dumb. Okay.
Love
But-
it already.
So people give me look at the paper. People give me a hard time about using pocket holes. They always have, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I thought it would be hilarious to. Do you know Alex Steele? You know who Alex
Yes.
Steele is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Alec and I are friends. I thought it would be great to take a trip to England, have Alec teach me how to make Damascus, learn how to forge, and then make a Damascus pocket hole jig. I think it would be amazing.
I love this so much. I knew
I'm so
exactly where
happy
you were
right
going.
now. I thought you were going to go with the Damascus pocket hole screw.
So did I. I
can't
was like,
see it
I'm
then.
listening.
I mean, we could do that.
That
But
would
we-
make it even better.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is so dumb. I love it.
This
Then
screw
use
took
the-
30 hours to make.
Then use the Damascus pocket hole screw on like OBS or something.
Yeah, just
that
like
guy's got to be running a hotel at this point because I feel like every big maker in a community is like, so you know Alex, right? Okay, I'm gonna fly out to England. I feel like he hosts people all the time for all
He
their.
does.
He's probably like, sure thing, just come on over. It's ridiculous, but we'll do it.
he's amazing. He is amazing.
Oh,
He
he's
seems super fun.
I would love to see a collab with you guys. That would be awesome.
We've talked about it, and it's just never quite worked out. But yeah, it'll probably happen one of these days.
That would be awesome.
Be dope. Well, before we get into like a what's on the bench, because I would love to know about what you're working on now.
Do we have time for what's on the bench? We still got
well,
questions.
like him,
I'll
not for
for-
us. We're not going to talk.
Yeah,
about
we
it.
will forfeit our what's on the
I yield
bench
my time to the representative from I Like to Make Stuff. But I will ask this question because you're one of the veterans, the godfathers of YouTube maker content, and you are just stop being humble. If you were, giving advice to people now, starting out, people that are trying to, or they're already doing it, what are some quick couple, 2 or 3 things that you think are very important that have helped you the most? It might be something like, hey, get on Notion with your whoever's helping you out, or get somebody to help you out with this, or whatever. What are some quick tips that you think would make or have made the biggest impact in your life as a
Don't.
YouTuber?
Yeah, don't. No.
After don't, if they're like,
no.
yeah, I would really wanna. Okay,
No, I don't think that's the truth. I think one thing would be to, if you want this to be a business, if you want making things that you're interested in to be a business, you have to figure out how to separate your personal person hours from your income. And it is absolutely necessary, because when you think about growth or an exit plan or a downturn in economy, or YouTube decides to all of a sudden only care about gaming or whatever, if your production and your income is based solely on how much you as a person can do, you cannot keep up with it. It's untenable to try to build a business out of that long term. And I've been trying to do that for a long time. And then eventually I had to change the way that I was looking at that stuff. And I think if you start that way, to where you separate how much time you put into something to how the money is made from it, you have a pressure that is relieved there so that you can actually be more creative and a little bit more free with how you spend your time, how much you enjoy doing the thing that you set out to enjoy doing in the first place. So that would be one big piece of advice. And that's really vague and doesn't actually lead somebody right down the path to do that, but that's something to look for. The other thing would be to rely on other people that are better at things than you are. Everybody has like a superpower, I think, or at least one. And there's a thing that you individually are really, really good at. And that's the thing that you should be doing. And there's other people that are really good at managing time or creating art or making websites or carrying plywood or whatever it is. And you need to rely on other people and like use community as a way for everybody to do their part well. And I think that works better than just one person trying to do everything pretty crappy, like, so I think those are probably my two big pieces of advice.
Why half-ass one thing when you can quarter-ass three things?
There you go.
That's actually why the podcast works so well. We rely on Dan's customer service superpower.
Oh no.
And Pete's superpower of being Polish.
That is
just being-ish.
One of it. Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, this is good. This is good to hear for us too. We're all, you could say, aspiring YouTubers, but who has the time, right?
For real.
So for like the separating your man hours, I think that's important. Do you think that that's probably why we're seeing a lot of larger YouTube channels, a lot of content creators there's a lot of classes coming out now, and there's a lot of tutorials and a lot of, a lot of people are shifting to what seems like digital files, things like that. Do you think that's kind of what that is?
100%. Yeah. It's something that you can invest work in up front and it's a lot of work. You're investing up front, but then you're done with it and then people can buy it and
in perpetuity, evergreen. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
products
plans.
in general. I mean, whether that's a digital product or somebody, like Simone Yetch, and Simone.
Yep.
She's
You're the only other person who's ever said her name like that, other than Pete, that I've ever met.
Yeah, it's not Gertz.
Yeah, that's how you say it. But she's created a whole design studio around her quirky, brilliant way of coming up with ideas, and I think that's amazing. But I think physical products, digital products, courses. Anything like that is it's not truly passive income. I think that's the wrong way to look at it, but it's pre-income. Like you're doing the work up front and then you get to reap the benefits from it over time so that then you have time to figure out what the next thing is,
It's scalable without needing additional time to scale.
Right. And probably without additional people. That's another way that, for a while, and this happened to me too, trying to scale a YouTube business, you think it might mean adding more people, more production, more facility, and that may work for some people, but it doesn't work for most people because you're still, at least in our case, it was still reliant on how much I can do, how many ideas I can come up with, how many, videos I can shoot in a month, regardless of how many people are helping. So
that was something that I wanted to bring up, but I didn't know if there was a way to bring it up.
Yeah,
so I'm glad you brought it up. Like I remember once upon a time you had a fairly large team, like maybe 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, we had 5 full time.
Okay,
at least 4 because there was a 4-player arcade console. So
that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Could you talk more about what happened there? What the situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. I've talked about it on Making It. Several things happened. YouTube changed a lot. So things in like 2019 were, from a YouTube perspective, were fantastic. Everything was like, all the graphs were up and to the right? And so when things are going well, you scale, you try to take advantage of that. You want to be able to make production better. So, I brought on different people that did different things. and all amazing people, all still really good friends of mine. And we tried to do more, but like I was saying before, the bottleneck was me. And that bottleneck is there whether it's one person or 100 people. Unless I was willing to let so-and-so have the video, and then so-and-so had their own video. And then, when you bring on other hosts, that's when it can scale without a single person manpower. I didn't want to do that. It didn't work for our brand and for how people know me and stuff. So we didn't do that. So I brought on people when things were good. We ended up purchasing a building. We had an office where we had, a podcast studio, and we had a machine room and stuff like that. And then just over the next couple of years, like the YouTube stuff just went down. And so we tried to make some products. We did the course. We did both courses. We did physical products for a while. And ultimately, what I realized later on, after the fact, after I was all out of this pretty terrible year and a half, truthfully, it was a really terrible year and a half. After I was out of this, I realized that when I brought people on, it was not for them to make money for the company. It was to help me. It was to help ease the amount of work that I was doing. And so when money changed and when income changed and YouTube changed, I was still paying the same number of salaries, but those salaries were not bringing in revenue for the company. And it was still basically dependent on me doing what I did. And so we had to just start changing the way that we were doing everything, and we had to downsize, and people were able to find new jobs and stuff. And, it was a very tough part of my life, frankly. But when that was all said and done, and I knew that everybody had moved on and found better opportunities, and they were making more money than they were making working with me, and everybody was healthy and safe and good, and once I got to that point, I found this like huge sense of relief in that I can go back to the garage days of like, I can just make a stupid little thing and I don't have to pay people to be able to make this thing. And and like weight was lifted, and I got the freedom to be able to go again and do the thing that I set out to do in the first place, which was make hard things simple. Basically, my original thought for this whole thing was there should be no black boxes. It should be easy for any person to look at a thing that I'm doing and understand, whether they can replicate it or not, understand everything that's happening. That's the point. No black boxes. That got really difficult as production got bigger, more people were involved, whatever. So now, and since then, I've been able to go back to no black boxes. I have an idea for a dumb plastic thing that does a thing on my desk, and I can do it. And it's okay. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So honestly, since that, and I know, like I said, I knew that everybody had moved on to better situations. That was a big key for me. Since that, I've had significantly more enjoyment in my job, and I could talk about that for hours. Honestly, it was a profound moment in my life, both in my work and with my family and with who I am and who I see myself as, and it was big. So,
well, and you can tell that the stress being lifted really had like a physical effect because your hair started growing again.
Yeah,
it's a huge plus.
Yeah.
No, that was great. That's actually really good input, because I feel like the goal is the big shop. The team, the YouTube channel, the Mr. Beast, that's the dream. But there is something beautiful about creating anything in a small space, like being able to do anything and doing it with, in a way, limited resources. Obviously, we've got pretty decked out shops, and we have a lot of capability between lasers, CNCs, 3D printers, which is stuff that used to be entire warehouses, and now you can fit it into a garage or a basement. I think there's something beautiful about being able to fabricate anything, truly becoming almost self-reliant in a way, and solving modern problems without having to rely on very expensive parts to be fabricated or something to be purchased that's cheaply made overseas.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
and like in general, I'm not going to get rid of my tools, so I'm not saying less to tools, but in general, in the last couple of years, have had this approach to things that is just less. Let's do less. Fewer videos, less production, less forethought, less baggage, less, less. Like I said, that doesn't mean fewer tools, but it makes things in life so much more manageable and comfortable if you have fewer things that you are responsible for. I'm not talking about like kids and stuff, but when you have other people's livelihood that you're responsible for, there's a huge amount of stress to that. And there's a huge amount of, it's big. I've been through multiple businesses in my life where I've had employees. And after the first time I did it, I said, I'm never going to do that again. And then after the second time I did it, I said, I'm never going to do that again.
When will you learn?
Yeah. So
working with less, having more freedom. Less overhead, absolutely. More freedom.
Less all the things, less stress.
Yep.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Dan, don't take that literally. Dan's like, oh, so I can just kick back. I'm not. Yeah. It's just gonna do its own thing.
Except Dan scraps. Always less Dan scraps for Dan. It's good stuff.
All right. Well, we're not gonna do a what's on a bench, but I want to hear
what's on my bench.
Bob, what's on your bench right now? What project are you working on?
I just finished a project today. I found this at a yard sale a couple of years ago. 5 years ago.
Another car. Here we go.
Yeah. I found an aluminum case, and it's like 16 inches by 18 inches by 15 inches or something. It's this really weird, big aluminum flight case.
Spoiler, it's haunted.
It has these two big latches on it. When I opened it up at this yard sale, there's an electronics panel just floating. It's not attached to anything. It's just like somebody dropped it in there, and there's a bunch of wires. I have no idea what it was. It has like a keypad on it and screens. I don't know what it was.
It's a 1960s nuclear football. That's also haunted.
That's also haunted. Anyway, so I took this junk out of it, and I took this big aluminum case. And I've got more cameras these days than like this kind of like weird little gimbal camera and little action cams. And I bought a tiny little drone recently, and I've got all these extra little things. When I want to go out to film at the farm, I have to take like 2 backpacks worth of batteries and little things and tripods for this thing and whatever. So took this big case, and I cut foam to mount these cameras and all these little doodads in like Kaizen foam. But then I made a track system inside the case so that these things slide in. Each panel slides in like a library of cameras, and so they're all stacked next to each other. They're all encased. Nothing can move, but you can like reach in and grab out a slab of foam, and it's got a bunch of like a drone and
like
a camera stuck in the
Dewey
middle.
Decimal System of cameras.
Yeah. So I have one case where I can take all of my camera gear, and it's really compact, and it's padded and safe, and yeah, that's what I've been working on.
That sounds really cool
and haunted. It's
haunted,
totally
of course. Yeah,
haunted with cameras now.
All right, let's jump into some questions. Let's see how many we have time for.
We're going to start recording now? Is that what we're doing?
Oh no!
On 3.
This is why we do a backup recording always. Let's play this one from Malcolm.
Hey guys, it's Malcolm from Boston Nova Workshop, and I want to say hello to Bob. Bob, you've been an incredible inspiration for me and many others, I'm sure, but definitely instrumental in my maker career. Thank you for everything that you have taught me through your videos. I want to just say thanks again. I do have a question about 3D modeling. I have been working on a product that's 3D printed, and I have built all of it in the slicer using just basic geometry, geometric things, whatever you want to call them, parts. And now I've sort of hit the point in the next iteration where I need to either hire someone to do some advanced 3D modeling stuff, basically simple stuff, or take your Fusion class and learn how to do it myself. For some reason, I've had a block in doing that because in my mind, I feel it's going to take a long time to ramp up, and I'm a little bit impatient. I'm just thinking about getting someone to do the next thing, but I think I'll also always come back to having to have someone do this for me. So can you talk a bit through like how to get past that block and what the reality is versus the perception? Okay, again, thanks for all you do.
Now, before you answer the question, I just want to shout out Malcolm so he took a different approach. He's been designing something inside the bamboo slicer because they're so robust these days. You can add so many things, and that's the product. It's a magnetic, like, hello, my name is, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And it's got NFC readers in both corners, so you can tap and it'll take you to website page. You can also scan the QR code. So it's a cool product that was entirely made in a slicer program, which in itself is kind of a design software too nowadays. It's no longer just like throw a model in and slice. So what are your recommendations to him?
I mean, that's wild. I've never thought about modeling something in a slicer.
Right.
That's very cool. Thank you, Malcolm, for the kind words as well. As far as like the fusion thing, I think it's one of those like teach a man to fish kind of thing. You can always rely on other people, but I think as soon as you get a grasp on 3D modeling, whether it's fusion or something else, as soon as you get enough of a grasp on it to be able to solve a problem that you are having, you'll realize how quickly you can solve problems. And then it will become a thing that I cannot even imagine how my workflow would be if I didn't know Fusion at this point, because I do everything. I start there for everything. It's like my sketch pad. Mm-hmm. I'm about to build like a pretty big shed in our backyard.
In a treehouse.
And I'm modeling the entire thing down to the individual studs and the individual panels and everything. And I'm figuring out all my material costs and everything just from that. And I could do the same thing on paper. I could do it in another piece of software, but it's natural now because that's where I work. So to answer the question, I think, so my course is obviously not the only course. You can get tons of free resources to learn Fusion online without paying for anything. My course was trying to take the necessary stuff, boil it down to like a path of study for people with zero experience. You don't have to go search for anything. You don't have to wonder if the person talking about it is going to be good at talking about it or not. If you know me, you know what it's going to be like, whether you like that or not. So it's a path of study. You can sit down in probably an afternoon, take your time with it, a couple of days, and you will have a firm grasp on coming up with an idea and being able to model it. And it takes practice like anything else, but it won't be unknowable to you. And I think if you were to spend that time, whether you're talking about programming or woodworking or modeling or whatever, if you invest that little bit of time up front and get a win pretty quickly, then that win will power you to do a little bit more investment, a bigger win, a little bit more investment and bigger win, and then eventually you're like a master woodworker, or you're just comfortable enough to program the thing that you need to program or whatever. So I think invest in yourself is my advice.
And to help Malcolm a little bit, you did mention a little bit ago that you're willing to give a discount code?
100%. Yeah, not 100% discount.
No, 100% discount code. You heard it here first, everybody.
Yes,
AWP.
I will totally. I'll give you guys a 15% for listeners. How about that?
Code AWP.
Sure, we can do
Boom. Yeah.
There you go, Malcolm.
Just keep it
Now
simple.
you have no
that's
excuse.
amazing. Now you have no excuse. And I highly recommend it because, like I said earlier, the hump is the starting. Once you get the basics, it's all sketching and extruding and just shaping. It's awesome. I'm like you. I'm all
about my humps.
I need to start my design process with a sketch. Just get it laid out. And I also love that all the referencing, off of lines, centering, everything is just so easy in there once you understand it. But it's scary at first.
Now I feel bad now because I just bought Shaper 3D.
Also a great application.
It feels like it's more my speed.
I've tried Fusion and I'm very comfortable with Shaper 3D in the sense that I'm comfortable opening it and breaking things, not in the sense that I know what I'm doing.
I mean, any of these packages, like, they're all good in different ways. A lot of people love SolidWorks. I just never used it. People love SketchUp. I used SketchUp for a long time,
I
and then
tried SketchUp.
I found the problem, and that's what pushed me to Fusion. But you can learn any of them and get a lot out of them. It just kind of depends on where you want to invest. And the learning curve on all of them is pretty steep, honestly. And Fusion is no exception. Like it's a steep learning curve, but the goal was to try to smooth that curve a little bit and make it accessible. I will say one more thing about Fusion, it was the selling point for me. And it's not the only program that has this, but it has parametric modeling. So
The best.
it's the best. You can create, for anybody that doesn't know, you create basically like named variables. Like in algebra, you can say width, and then you put a number in it. You say height, and you put a number in, and then you model something, and instead of typing in the numbers, you type in the named variable. So you build a model, then you get to the end of the model, and you're like, dang, that should have been twice as tall as it is. Oh, I'll just go change the number. And then you change the number, and the model gets twice as tall. It's amazing. I mean, that sounds like a simple thing, but when you have, from experience, when you have an entire shed out back with like different roof pitches and different spacing on joists and studs and all that stuff is parametric, and you can type in a number and the whole building changes, it's rad. Like totally worth the time.
And you cover all that in your class.
Yeah.
There you
Parametric it's the key. So it's like one of the big things we cover.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not just like, for referencing things, you would do like height +3 for random things, and it just scales your entire thing. It's not just like, because I've broken stuff with parametric modeling. You could still break stuff with parametric modeling.
Definitely.
So you got to know how to use the tool. So definitely go check out the course. Use code AWP for 15% off. Definitely worth it. I mean, you said what, over 8,000 satisfied customers.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go.
And one dude that we blocked on Instagram.
Quick one from Chris from Homefront. I think we answered all these, but I'm still going to play it.
Bob, congratulations on the upcoming 500th episodes and going for almost 11 years. Your contributions and influence on the maker community are indelible. That being said, what advice would you give to younger Bob and those who may just be starting on their journey in making and creating? Chris, Homefront Woodworks.
So I think we pretty much covered all those. It's don't start, but if you start, do this. So thanks for calling in, Chris. And the last one is from Jeff.
Hey guys, Jeff from Three Tails Woodworks. I have two questions for all of you. The first one's more for Pete, but I'll also open it up to Dan and Braden. My wife and I were expecting our first child here in the next couple weeks, and I'm just wondering, Pete, how did you manage your time being a new dad, working full-time, and being in the shop? I'm the exact same. I have a full-time job, spend time in the shop, and now being a new dad. So just wondering if you guys have any tips on how to manage that. My next question is for all you guys. I'm working on a side table for the nursery. It's out of white oak. Just wondering if there's any design elements or rules regarding how big the apron should be. And there's also going to be a drawer on the side table. So just looking for some feedback on that. Anyways, thanks guys. Love the podcast. You're all awesome. Keep it up. Cheers.
Aw. Well, I'll give you a quick answer on mine since I'm the most recent to have added a child. Unless you guys have something to tell me. But I had 3 months off from work. I could have spread that out. I took it all up front. I had high hopes for all the things I was going to do. I did none of them. I spent time with my wife and my baby, and I regret none of it. Over the last year, my business has suffered because I have new priorities in life. And it took me way too long to be okay with that. If I had gone into it with, hey, this year is going to be a pause or a dial back, and that's okay because I'm never going to get this time back, you're going to be way less stressed out, not stressing about not being in a shop or doing some orders or getting ready for Christmas or whatever. Spend time with your kid, especially now. You're getting ready. That means I'm assuming the baby's going to be here before the end of the year. Maybe this holiday season you don't do a bunch of craft shows and whatever. Just enjoy it. That's all I'm going to say. And you guys are all nodding your head. Clearly, you've had kids before, right? I'm assuming.
Well said.
And as far as the apron goes, I usually go for about a 4-inch apron unless I want it to be wider past the drawers. So that's kind of my rule of thumb, having built only 2 side tables with aprons on them. So that's mine. But Bob, I would love to hear your input. You have 4 kids. You've been doing this for a while. You've seen them grow up. They've seen you grow your channel. Like, what's your advice for a new dad?
Well, you're going to be tired a lot. That's just part of it. My big piece of advice, I think, is about the illusion of work-life balance. I think people use work-life balance a lot as this ideal that you have to strive for. Like, you're constantly finding, like, once you find this balance of like, oh, it's like 60% family and 40% work, and this is just what I do now. I think that's incorrect. I think it should be work-life balancing, because some days your kids don't even know you're at home and they won't need you, especially when they're teenagers. They won't need you at all. There are some days when your business can run perfectly fine without you. There are some days where your kids need you more than they can need anything else in the world. And there are certain days where your work needs you to be there, otherwise it's going to fail. So my advice is to constantly be balancing in that, where should you be right now? Be there 100%. Tomorrow, figure out where you should be and be there 100%. Don't be half there with your kids. Don't be half there with work. You're going to like hurt yourself. Just be aware and be there wherever you need to be.
That is literally the most perfect answer I've ever heard. Seriously, I'm not just saying that to stroke your ego. That is perfect.
Dan, don't cry again.
I'm going to do it.
We don't need another Jimmy Dressed episode.
Yeah, I can't agree more with Bob. Like, I've always said that I'm not going to stress myself out by going into my shop for, 15, 16 hours at a time. I'm going to cut it off and just, I don't want to hate doing it. So I'm not going to, kill myself to make it work. If it's going to work, it's going to work. Even if it's not, then obviously I'm going to have to find something else to do. But lucky for me, it's kind of working. So, gosh, I love Bob's answer so much. I'm going to want that clip, and we need to put it everywhere. Braden? Oh, the apron thing.
Apron, quickly.
Yeah. This is a furniture podcast.
Right. I don't know about the apron, but I will say this. If it's going to be in your nursery or anywhere that kid is going to be when it's starting to learn how to walk, chew, and pull itself up on stuff or chew, I'd make sure all the edges are rounded over and super smooth, and it's not top heavy, because your child is going to want to pull itself up eventually, and if that thing's top heavy, you don't want it falling over on your child. So that's it. I think the apron can be whatever size you want it to be. Those are the 2 things that I'd watch out for.
As big as your heart.
Yeah. it grew 3 sizes that day. Braden?
Yeah, I think as long as it's at minimum like 2 inches, anything less than that, and you have either a hard time attaching it all together, or it's just not offering enough lateral support. But after that, it's an aesthetic thing. 3 to 5 inches is usually common.
It's not really an apron if it's not more than 3 inches. I don't know if that's a thing. I just wanted to do it well, actually.
Thanks, Professor Dan. As for the kids thing, so I am probably the smallest, like, this is a business of every single person on this screen. Actually, I know that for a fact. I started a new fairly intensive sales job 3 months before we had Gabby. And the downside to like sales jobs is there is not work-life balance. And let's see, Gabby is turning 7 years old next month. Roughly 7 years ago, I developed my addiction to energy drinks. So that helped. But one of the things that I regret, and I was very present. Like I've been very involved in Gabby's life. Like I'm a good dad, but
I can confirm Braden's a pretty good dad.
the thing that I always regret is that I didn't spend a little bit more time with Gabby. And I spent a lot of time with my daughter, but I never regret missing out on a little bit of shop time when I'm spending time with Gabby. So like Pete said, if the business starts to kind of go down, especially if it's not your, like, if that's not how you're putting your food on the table, gap year it. Like if you go out when especially when you have a new kid, mom and the kid are going to be sleeping a lot, like just in kind of that time frame. Take advantage of the time when everybody's asleep. Hopefully it's all lined up at the same time if you get lucky. Take advantage of the time where nothing else is going on and you can just have that time to yourself, but don't ever feel like you should be spending more time in the shop if you feel like you should be spending time with your wife and your new kid. Like, don't ever sacrifice that, because you will regret that.
Mm-hmm.
So
can't get that time back.
Yeah, right. No. The only thing that we can't 3D print is time.
Yet.
Oh,
just wait.
Going on the bananas list.
PLA time.
Awesome. Well, Bob, thank you so much for being on. This is great, man. I love this episode. Great
Thanks for
information. Really good question and answer session. I feel like you dumped a bunch of knowledge on everyone. Appreciate you being on here. Where can everyone check you out?
I like to make stuff.com has everything.
Boom. Yeah. Go check out his course. Go check out one of his several podcasts, I believe, right? You got
just one these days. Just making
these days, just the one. All right. There's a back catalog. Also, some music out there. Go find it all.
Oh yeah, you never answered. What was the band name?
I've been in a few. That one was called The Flight Out.
Flight Out. Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
solid.
Country western.
Reggae.
Ooh, country reggae with Irish flair.
Bagpipes.
A lot of tambourine work. A lot of mean tambourine work.
Oh man. And Dan, we never chose a super secret code phrase.
No, we didn't.
PLA time.
I'm sorry. I dropped something on the floor, so my mind
PLA time. If you want to win a ticket to the educational pass to the Texas Woodworking Festival, send code PLA time or PLAT to
awpgiveaway@gmail.com.
Boom.
Oh, I just thought of another secret code phrase.
What is it?
That'd be really good. Epoxy river car.
I like that one better, frankly.
You know what? Epoxy river car. Boom.
They'll both work. You made it this far. They'll both work.
Yeah. Both work.
Double entries.
There you go. And
now Dan has to do the math.
Oh man.
We're going to drop this before Sunday for everyone. So if you're a patron and listening to this, our call is this Sunday at 6 p.m. Make sure to tune in. If you miss it, we are going to have another one very soon. We're really bad about scheduling those. Bob, do you guys ever do like patron calls or community calls?
Yeah, we do it once a month. Yeah.
They're doing a lot.
Damn it,
they're doing
it
once
like
a month. I was gonna say, Pete, don't ask a question like that. They're doing a live event.
I was hoping that you'd be like, oh no, we don't do that.
Who's got time?
They have an event on Eventbrite. They are clearly meeting their patrons where they are better than
this is our Q1 call we're doing on Sunday. So then we're gonna do one a month until the end of the year. We're good. We're golden, guys. Go check out Bob's course and tune in next week. We have Hugh from Man-Made. Hugh Man-Made.
And speaking of Bob's course, don't forget 15% off. Use code AWP. Go to iliketomakestuff.com.
Off.
He did say 100% off.
He did say that, but
we won't hold him to it. We'll hold him at a crisp split of 50% off.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Love you a long time.